What's up, guys? Hdemarzo here with the Tech Cruiser channel. So Google released an update to their Google Maps GPS navigation app for iOS and Android, I imagine. I was checking it out today. I have to say, it's definitely a very solid GPS app. Definitely a very good piece of software. However, there are some things. First, let's start with the good things. Supposedly they added lane notifications. Like if you're on the highway, it'll let you know beforehand what lane you need to be in to catch your exit or to catch your turn or whatever. That was very useful. Like instead of make a left onto First Street, it was make a left onto First Street and bear left at the fork as opposed to just stay left. So the audio navigation, the spoken turn by turn was much better. The voice, the actual voice part of it was very clear, very well spoken. It's much more closer to natural speech than, sorry about that. It was much closer to, a little vibration. Sorry about that. The voice part, the spoken part, was much better. It was very close to a natural speech as opposed to talking like this on the GPS. You know, it was much more natural, much more free flowing. It was much easier to believe that it was a person, even though you obviously know it's not a person, but it was much closer to natural spoken speech. The maps, the physical interface, it was very good, very clean. The maps were very thorough, very informative. They flowed very smoothly as you were driving along. It wasn't jerky, it wasn't sputtery at all. It was very smooth. So on that note, it was a very good, very solid piece of software. The things that I didn't like, when you're on the highway, on a major highway, you look for an exit number, a number and a letter, or a letter, whatever it is, but you look for an exit, 34B. Whereas, on local roads, it's just a turn. That's the one thing I didn't like about it was in the tag, in the display up top. It said 2.4 miles, whatever, make a left onto, highway, whatever. And then it showed it sort of that there was something there for the exit. However, it had ellipses, a dot, like to be continued. Like there wasn't enough room to put exit 23 or whatever. So I found that very disrupting, because when I'm using, like, say, for example, Apple Maps, or I use Waze, I look for that exit number on the written turn-by-turn directions. And that just wasn't there. It wasn't present. I felt like it should have been there. It's fairly easy to put that on there. Is this something that was overlooked, or was it designed this way? I even tried turning the phone from landscape to portrait, hoping that maybe, okay, there was screen real estate issues. Like if you had it turned in a portrait mode, that there wasn't enough room to show that information. Though I can't see that being the case, because in all other GPS navigation apps, it's there, it's present. But that wasn't there. There was a major thing for me. Spoken addresses, spoken destinations were picked up very well. It was really quite a very solid piece of software. That being said, I definitely recommend you check it out, because my caveats may not be your caveats. spots. You may have issues with something else that I liked. The interface was good. That's pretty much it. It was a really solid, update. The lane notifications wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. It wasn't as prevalent as I thought it was going to be. It's kind of a no-brainer, if you, and I'll explain why in a minute. But I expected it to be more prevalent, more noticed. Like, for example, you come up on a 2-lane highway, you come up to your exit. Obviously, there's the 2 lanes, and then the exit lane. Well, that's what they considered the lane notifications, was the exit lane. Well, that's kind of a no-brainer. But if you're cruising along in the left-hand lane, you want to know that, hey, get over into the left-hand lane. Or, like in Philly, it would be really, really useful, because different lanes go into different places, and it would be helpful to know that ahead of time. But it really wasn't the main feature of what they touted to be the main feature. It really wasn't, like I said, it wasn't as prevalent as I thought it was going to be. But it was there. It was cool to have. And stay left into, go left at the fork, which again is more natural. That's what you'd say to somebody. You're giving them directions. Make a left, and then at the fork you're going to hang a right. Or bear left at the fork. So it's much closer to, like I said, natural spoken directions, like you had somebody sitting in the car with you, than just a GPS navigation. However, I still feel that there is a huge rift between Android and iOS apps. Like, even though the app is available on iOS, excuse me, even though the app is available on iOS, it didn't feel natural. If I'm looking for directions to something, I pick up my phone, I press and hold the home button, Siri comes up, and I say, 123 Main Street, Anytown, USA, and it'll come up, and it'll go right to the Maps app. And that feels very fluid. It feels very natural, like it should be. With any other app, you have to go into the app and then, punch in your address, or use the little microphone thing and speak your address. It's not as fluid. It's not as nice. That being said, iOS 8 is coming out, hopefully soon, and sometime this summer with WWDC with the new iPhone. Hopefully Siri will have gotten much better. The GPS navigation will have gotten much better. Apple has been acquiring all kinds of mapping technologies and other such things. They acquired a voice dictation kind of company. I imagine that's going to help with the Siri integration, with Siri spoken stuff, and what Siri's able to understand, and make it that much better. So that's what I got, the Google Maps app. I give it a thumb and a half up. The half a thumb down, like I said, is for that little thing, what exit you're getting off on. That's kind of huge for me. It may not be huge for you, it's huge for me. So there it is. That's what we got. Until next time, keep it real.